Hello everybody and welcome back to Madden 2005. We are officially in off-season mode number 2 and I am here live, recording live once again. I recorded the first one live. I thought it would be quicker if I did it that way, and I honestly don't think it was. It ended up being a 50-minute video, which again I'm going to try and trim down this time. And now that I've seen what the off-season in Madden 05 is like, I'm going to try and be a little bit more constructed with it and maybe not waste so much time. So let's just get right into the festivities because there's a lot of work I feel like that needs to be done. Maybe not like a ton of work, but we definitely have some things that need to be addressed and changed. So looking over the standings, because of course we missed the playoffs for the second straight year here, although we did avoid a losing season for the second straight year. Those kind of moral victories might be getting a little bit thin for the Raiders faithful. They might not be super optimistic about these moral victories. They want to see some playoff football in Oakland, and I cannot blame them, and I will not blame them. So, looking over the standings here in the AFC, the Titans take home the top seed here at 12-4, of course, winning the AFC South. The Patriots take the second seed, winning the AFC East. The Colts take home the third seed. They're listed as the third seed, but I would think somebody else would be listed here. It's kind of weird how they do this. So, yeah, I don't know why they root it like this. They should do it in terms of playoff seeding, not just like total standings, but the Colts do make it as a wild card. The Chiefs are your, I guess they would technically be the third seed, winning the AFC West, and the Chiefs finish as your second wild card at 11-5, making the playoffs for the second straight year. And if you're wondering where the last playoff spot is, they are down here. The Browns finished 9-7, listed 7th in the entire AFC, but they are probably the 4th seed. I would think if this all tracks, they would be the 4th seed in the playoffs. And the Bills, who finished 11-5, miss out on the playoffs, man. So the AFC was in a very, very weird year. Remember, I was talking about at the beginning of the Redskins video how, given just how the AFC was top-loaded, the AFC North was really bad this year, guaranteeing a playoff spot. That meant that our odds of actually squeezing out a win or two and getting into the playoffs are still pretty slim. Like a 10-6 record wouldn't have done it. So, although 8-8 isn't really passable, I think for a lot of people, maybe some of you watching, 10-6 wouldn't have fit the bill either. So, do with that as you will. Whatever you think of that information, do with that as you will. So, coming down here further down, looks like the Bills are the only team that really got screwed, though. The only team that actually kind of got screwed out of a playoff spot. Everyone else was kind of bad. The Bengals, Jags, and us all finish at 8-8, as do the Ravens, and then the Steelers finish at 7-9. The Broncos at 7-9 as well. So once again, the AFC West producing teams that all finish within at least a game of 500 or better. For the second straight season. The Dolphins come in at 6-10. The Jets finish 4-12, and the Texans come in at the bottom at 4-12 as well. So the Texans were much better last year, if I remember, but this year things were pretty rough. So we're going to look at the NFC now. The Redskins, who beat us in our second to last game, take home the top seed in the NFC at 13-3. The Cowboys are listed second, but of course they're not one of the top seeds. It would be a wild card. The Seahawks are your second division seed, winning the NFC West. The Vikings win the North at 9-7, and the Buccaneers win the South at 9-7 as well, and then the Eagles are your second wild card. So the NFC East sending 3 teams to the playoffs, man. 3 of 6 seeds all going to the NFC East. A complete division of dominance, I would say so. The Bears just miss out here at 8-8, as do the Packers. So it looks like the NFC North was really kind of coming down to the wire in Week 17. The Panthers just also miss out at 8-8 as well, but after that, it's kind of a steep fall. With the Saints and Falcons both finishing 6-10, the Giants, Lions, and Cardinals and 49ers all finishing 5-11, and the Rams, they were in. I think they made it to the divisional round last year. I think they were the top seed in the playoffs last year. So it looks like all the retirements maybe just really caught up to the Rams. I don't know how many they lost. If you guys remember last year, between receivers and quarterback who they lost, Kurt Warner and Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt and all of them. I don't know how many of them they lost, but 1-15 is absolutely brutal. Only winning a single game is nuts for the Rams. So with that now, we can look at the playoffs now, how they panned out. If it'll load. Hopefully it'll load. There we go. I hate how it does that. Every single game does that. But in the wild card mode, or wild card round, the Chiefs host the Chargers, a divisional matchup in the playoffs, and the Chiefs handle business here, completely subduing that San Diego offense, which really gave us a lot of problems here in the second half of the season. The Eagles go to Minneapolis and absolutely pummel the Vikings in the dome, man. Absolutely punishing. So we knew who the worst team maybe in the playoffs was this season. That's for sure. I think that's safe to say. The Browns and the Colts have a bit of an interesting shootout back and forth, and the Browns, actually surprising maybe a lot of people here, managed to grab their 10th win of the season by beating the Colts, who probably were very favored. And then the Buccaneers, were your Super Bowl runner-ups, managed to beat the Cowboys in Tampa. Moving on to the divisional round, the Browns just somehow, their Cinderella run continues as they beat the defending champions. The top-seeded Titans in the AFC get beaten off by the lowly Cleveland Browns, the worst division seed. And then the Redskins pay back, I guess, maybe get some payback for the Vikings on the Eagles by absolutely trouncing the Birds in Landover, Maryland here, 45-10, absolutely brutal. And the Patriots handle business against the Chiefs, knocking them off. And then the Buccaneers, or I guess the Patriots would be your top seed, I think, if we remember here. So ignore what I'm saying. Either way, the Buccaneers managed to handle the Seahawks. They go on the road and handle Seattle, and that makes your conference championship between the Browns for some reason and the Patriots. The Patriots managed to beat the Browns only by a field goal. So Cleveland had some magic going on, man. Absolutely had some magic. And we have their quarterback who took them to the playoffs back in 2002. So I don't know what they're doing this year and with who. And then the Redskins continue their run of dominance, beating the Buccaneers by 10, and making your Super Bowl the Pats and the Redskins, which the Redskins absolutely handle business, man. Tom Brady and the Patriots get absolutely embarrassed in the Super Bowl. So the Redskins are the second Super Bowl champion in this series. So we've exchanged conferences with the Super Bowl. And then the AFC manages to beat the NFC in the Pro Bowl, if that matters to anybody. So, of course, before we go into the offseason festivities here, we're going to look at the stats of our team. Look at the big contributors, the big things to look at. So Tim Couch doesn't exactly have the season that Rich Gannon did, but still almost throwing for 4,000 yards here. He didn't play at all last year, so he was a backup quarterback. It didn't look like he touched the field at all. But for us, man, he really came through in a major way. This might be his best season, period. It was better than his season with the Browns, in which he went to the playoffs. Much better than that season. But the yard total is about similar to where he was in 0-1, but that's about it. So this is his best season. We signed him to a short-term deal because I wasn't sure how this would work out, but if this is how he wants to play, earning a Pro Bowl nod, Tim Couch might be receiving quite the payday from the Raiders here in the offseason. He might be the short-term solution at quarterback until we can feel a little bit confident about drafting one, but this 25 TD to 5 INT ratio right here is the big ticket, man. Remember last year, Rich Gannon threw 38 touchdowns and 22 interceptions. Tim Couch is a lot more safe with the football, and that's definitely something I want to keep at the quarterback position if we can. That's very, very important for us. So in rushing, Justin Fargas doesn't crack that 1,000-yard mark, but he does get about 300 yards more than he had last season. I think he had like 550 something. Yeah, 522. He had 522 yards, 8 touchdowns. So sharing the starting workload at running back, he managed to do pretty well, so I can't be upset with that. Doesn't look like really anybody else got too much work here. Troy Hambrick touched the ball quite a bit this year, a lot more than he did last year, that's for sure, but it's still a far fall off here from where he was with Dallas, so who knows, man? Who knows what the future at running back is for this team here, but I still think we've got a little bit of time with Fargas to maybe see what comes of that. So Justin Gage, who was one of our mid-season acquisitions when we had to dump off Kerry Collins, which we will look at Kerry Collins and see how he did this year, but we had to dump off Kerry Collins, and we ended up getting Justin Gage in the process, and he had an amazing year for us. He was one of our biggest, he is our biggest offensive contributor. 82 receptions here, over 1,200 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Jerry Porter, because of, I guess just how the roster was kind of set up here, doesn't get nearly as many yards as Justin Gage did, man. A huge fall from where he was last year in production, which I think is just more about a usage thing. I don't think it's anything to do with Jerry Porter, but still 81 receptions, just one behind Justin Gage. I'm okay with that. He was getting the ball quite a lot, so I guess I really can't use that defense. I'm not sure. He just wasn't going for a lot more yardage, I guess. Who knows? Obviously, the average is about almost 3 yards less, so maybe that's it. Who knows? But Teo Johnson ends up getting third in our receiving corps just in terms of receptions with 56, only 3 touchdowns. Chris Cole had over 600 yards here. How much is that different from last year? Wow, he's a lot more productive this year, so it looks like we were spraying maybe a little bit more to Chris Cole than we were to Jerry Porter last year, who almost had 100 receptions last year. So, a big fall off here. So we have a couple Pro Bowlers in our receiving corps, though, which is a nice thing to see. So Ron Stone completely upping his production from last year. He's continuing to get better, which is good to see. You want to see the offensive line continue to get better here. Barrett Robbins allowing 11 sacks, not great. His season was a little bit worse than last year. Not a good sign here. Barry Sims has a little bit more productive of a year, doubles the number of sacks here, but definitely increases the pancakes as well. Langston Walker here, limiting the number of sacks, but not as productive in the pancake column, unfortunately. Robert Gallery, halving the number of sacks here, but taking 10 off the pancakes. So it looks like everyone kind of was really going ham with not allowing as many sacks outside of Barrett Robbins, but at the price of being as physical. So it looks like everyone was getting a little bit more contested on the line rather than just flattening people out or letting people by them. So do with that what you will. And Napoleon Harris, 113 tackles. It's his third straight season of 100-plus tackles. You got to love it. Only 2 sacks for 3 straight years. Only 2 sacks. TFLs, he's at 10. And Will Witherspoon, who was our big addition last season. Remember, he was a restricted free agent that we had to give the Panthers a first and third for, and it was a huge improvement for our defense here as he gets 108 tackles. He has a much better season than he had in Carolina last year. Number of sacks is about on par here, but 11 TFLs and 108 tackles. That is fine for me with that kind of production. We definitely weren't going to draft that kind of production, so I'm happy that we were able to get Will Witherspoon in that process. Now, Denard Walker, who ended up getting injured towards the end of the year, is third on the team in tackles with 74, which is up from where he was in the previous years. Now, remember, he was injured in 2004 and didn't play at all. He was injured in the preseason. So this is his first full season with us as a starter on the team. So we got to see really what he can do. Only 1 interception, though, for a cornerback is really not great. So I would like to see a little bit more. Derek Gibson, 4th on the roster here. Nnamdi Asomugha, I kind of want to see where he was compared to last year. So about the same, man. He was a little bit the same level of production. So I think cornerback is probably a big area that we need to upgrade or maybe look to do something there. The defense is really what is lacking on the team. But again, I think that's really kind of indicative of the sim and the game rather than like defensive metrics, because we do have pretty good numbers on our defense, but I think there are some holes that we can maybe upgrade, and maybe if we get everyone kind of firmly in the 80s area, then I think it might change a little bit. We might see that reflect a little bit more. Sebastian Janikowski has a worse year than last year. It's his worst season since the 02 season, which still isn't bad. I think 83. I think there's a lot of teams that probably would enjoy an 83% kicker on their team. I don't know how many teams, what the average is for the NFL this year, but I'm not super worried about it. It's Janikowski. He's going to get the money. Like I said, he's going to always have the money, so we're not going to be super worried. Now, let's look for Kerry Collins and see what he did with the Chicago Bears. Oh, wow, we can see all of that. Got to go the other way so you can get the Bears. Why are the 49ers in the middle? That's always a weird thing. Where are you, Browns? Browns? Bears. There we go. Let's go all the way back to passing. Here we go. Cool. Let's see here. So it looks like both quarterbacks touched the field a little bit. Maybe Rex Grossman started a game just about. But yeah, they have Rex Grossman. I don't know why they wanted Kerry Collins, but I guess Kerry Collins was the better option for them. 2,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 18 picks. So it looks like we made the right choice, guys. Kerry Collins was an 89 overall quarterback. Tim Couch was, I think, a 79 overall. And Tim Couch ends up having the far superior year, even getting the Pro Bowl nod. Kerry Collins can eat doo-doo. Enjoy losing on the Bears, you failure. Even though we both had the same, the same season, but the Bears went 8-8 as well. So I guess maybe that's not super fair, but at least here we had a better quarterback season. So I'm gonna go with that. Oh my God, this is such a better. Oh my God, I just realized this is here. Oh my God, this would have been a godsend in the older Madden games. I really wish they had them, because you could sim a whole season and then you never know who played what. Like, you never know. Like, you'll see your 3 different quarterbacks have stats, and you're like, okay, so did someone get injured? Like I don't understand. I don't know what happened, but that is going to do it for, I guess, probably just the stats. I'll take a look at some of these other stats here. I know we're supposed to be going a little bit quicker here, but we're going to look at coach and maybe see. I want to see. So North Turner here, 66 and 76. I think, because we're going to get into this in the next screen. We're going to look at that. So here, I'll just wait until we get to the next screen, and then we'll talk about coaching wise. So let's advance into the owner mode part of the offseason, and then we'll discuss the coaching future here. first up, man, we made more money this year than we did last year. So I don't know what number specifically is different. I guess you could, or maybe go side by side with last year, see which numbers increased. But we're saving a lot of money on stadium costs because I think our stadium is probably a little bit cheaper. As you can see, we spent no money on upgrades, so I think we might be getting a little bit cheaper there. We spent zero money on fan appreciation. We're gonna have to change that. Whatever fan appreciation is, we're gonna have to change that because we definitely appreciate our fans still coming and supporting this dog water organization. So we made a little bit more, about $4 million more this year than we did last year. So it's nice to see the money is going up here. We can spend it where we need it, especially on coaching staff. So we're going to look at coach staff now. I think North Turner is going to be. Let's look at the free agents first. So Marty Schottenheimer is a free agent as a coach now. It looks like San Diego's going after him. So San Diego wants him. That'd be probably important to bid with them. I don't know if we could handle Schottenheimer going to San Diego. I don't know about that. Jeff Fisher is also a free agent. Interesting. And it looks like Tennessee's looking for him. So what? I think, does it show his previous seasons, I think? Yeah, okay. So it looks like the Titans are trying to get him back. They're trying to keep him. Is it the same with Schottenheimer? Let's see here. Yeah, so okay. So the Chargers are trying to keep him. Okay, got it. Cool. So, and then, well, actually, Dick Vermeil is not staying where he is. So he's leaving the Chiefs, it looks like. Wow, interesting. So he's leaving the Chiefs, and it looks like the Browns are going all in on him. Pretty nice, man. Pretty nice. Is this Jimmy Johnson? Am I smoking crack here? I don't know. I'm not the best with old-time coaches, guys, so you have to be, you got to be patient with me here. So, but it looks like, yeah, everyone, so these are just the top-rated coaches. Okay, so I want to look at our staff. Okay, cool. Let's look at our coaching staff. What is coaching progression? Did anyone grow at all? North Turner? Yeah, it looks like he grew a few points in a lot of places, so he's still getting better, I guess. Change owners. Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind. Ignore that. Ignore the change owner. So looking at our staff here, so we still have North Turner. He's been 8-8 the last two seasons and missed the playoffs. And then his first season, he went 10. Well, before he went to the Raiders. So even in general, I think probably after at least one more season, that we could probably make that decision. I think if we finish 8-8 or worse next year, I think it'd make a lot of sense to get rid of North Turner, but I don't think he's necessarily the issue with the team right now. I think the team is still in a good place, and if anything, GM-wise, me, is going to be the issue with why the Raiders can't get over that hump. But the fact that he took this roster in general in year number 2 and was able to get it to 500, I think is indicative that he should keep his job at the very least. So looking over, so we don't have an offensive coordinator, so we need an offensive coordinator. We officially don't have one. We don't have a defensive coordinator either, or a special teams coordinator. So our whole staff needs to be replaced. Oh, man, it's brutal. So, okay, so we're going to have to go through... Can I just look through OCs here? Assistants, perhaps? There's no information. Well, I guess we just have to go through unemployed, right? Okay, so we're gonna look. I'm gonna see if I can fill out our staff here, hopefully, and then we'll come back in here with the new coaching staff. I don't have any plans so much to move the Raiders out of the Coliseum, at least for now, even though we are at the 40-year mark for the Coliseum. But I did finally add some upgrades for it here. We're getting cup holders. I tried to modernize the Coliseum a little bit. Getting cup holders. We're going to get some gourmet chefs here for the luxury suites, and then we're going to upgrade the suites a little bit. So we can't renovate the Coliseum yet. I'm not even sure what that means in this game. It might just mean to rebuild something, but I was able to upgrade it a little bit here, and that's exactly what I decided to do, because these are the cheapest ones here. Everything else is like, over like $6 or $8 million, and these didn't add a ton to our maintenance costs for the Coliseum. So this is what I thought might help with fan engagement a little bit, because we can look, if we go back to the stadium screen here, see that our fan support is just a little bit higher than half, and we kind of want to get that up if we can at all. It says Oakland Stadium. Should I just rename it to the Coliseum? I don't know why it's not called the Coliseum now. It did go through a whole bunch of different names throughout these Madden games, like before anyone was no longer serious about it, just being a dump. But Yeah, we might change the name of it as well, just for posterity here, right? But in the information screen, there's some interesting things I found. We will get back to the coaching screen in a second, but the fan support is interesting. So it looks like halfway through the season here, around that week 8 mark, they kind of lost a little bit of hope here. So looks like fans were pretty optimistic to start the year, and things kind of died down towards the midway point of the year, and then it kind of recovered a little bit towards the end. But as the playoff chances tapered off, they kind of lost that interest. But it stayed mostly pretty high, which I guess is something we can hang our heads on here. So here we go, by season, interesting. But and then attendance is an interesting one too. So attendance follows the same kind of sort of curvature here. We had a damn near packed house at the beginning of the year, and then towards the midway point of the season, or midway point of our home games, kind of tapered off towards the middle, cratered. That's just regular NFL though. That's literally how the NFL is, just everywhere. So but here's the expectations, which is interesting. So I wish we could see this before the year started, but our expectations were kind of leveled off here, close to the middle, maybe a little bit below, and then for this year they kind of shot right up closer to that midway point. So I'm interested to see where that's going to go after next season, see what the fans are really thinking and expecting. But yeah, there's just some interesting stuff in the information screen that I thought was fun to show before we went back to the coaching side of things, because I did make offers to the coaching staff here, but it's doing that thing where it's like, they're like, oh, you made the offer, they didn't accept it, and it's not simming forward at all. So we're going to show you the coaches that I offered on. So this is the Vikings' previous coach, the one that they just went to the playoffs with, and were one and done. They got blown out in Minneapolis. He got fired, I guess, for that. I guess that was his last straw. So he's on the market, and I make an offer for him for OC. He's got pretty good offensive ratings, so we're going for him. And then, oops, that was the wrong screen. Might be. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons here. Pressing them all. So there's no information here. Wow, I thought he had stats. Anyway, this coach he had pretty decent stats for defense here, has 75 defensive rating, and then he's good with DBs, which is the big thing I liked as well. His DB stat is better here. He's got 70 linebacker, 65 DB. Not great, absolutely not, but we just need someone there. And then Rosberg, I'm looking to as a special teams coordinator, who's the special teams coordinator for the Browns, which, as we know, had a historic run here last season. So we're going to offer him some money and see if he'll stay here. I don't know if there's going to be they signed screen, so I'm just going to move ahead into the next phase of our off season. First things first, we have to look at our retired players here. So Tony Richardson is calling it a career after 11 seasons. Richie Anderson's calling it a career. So fullbacks, man, a lot of fullbacks are leaving. Look at that, man, all these fullbacks. Brad Johnson ended up going to Dallas, and after a pretty good season with the Cowboys, he is done. He's calling it a career at 37. So no more Brad Johnson in the sim. Rod Smith also calling it a career after 11 seasons. He is out. Michael Barrow is out here. Troy Vincent is out. A career-ending injury here for Seattle's tight end. That's unfortunate here. So at the age of 26, he's done playing ball at 87 overall. Zach Crockett, we're losing Zach Crockett. So Zach Crockett was one of the cornerstones of this offense I was hoping we would have for at least a couple more seasons, but he's done, man. At age 33, after 11 years in the NFL, he is done. So we're going to have to look at fullback now, man, as this is a mass exodus for fullbacks in the NFL, apparently. We're losing a lot of them across the league. And Seattle seems to be getting pretty hard as well. Ted Washington is also leaving us here, but he's 38. That was kind of expected here. I keep forgetting which players on the team are still pretty old that we can expect to lose, but Ted Washington is also leaving us here at 38 years old, which can be expected here. 86 overall is huge to lose on the defensive line, but we're going to have to figure something out there. So I guess now we're going to look, let's look specifically at our team here and see exactly who we are losing. So we lose Zach Crockett, Ted Washington, Ray Buchanan is gone. Man, so we lose Ray Buchanan, our free safety, and then John Perella, our right end, who we saw a little bit this year. We saw some glimpses of here. He wasn't necessarily kind of lighting things up on the stat sheet by any means here. Kind of similar to where he was last year. Had less sacks. But so these are four guys that I think probably we could expect to lose around this time. But I was definitely hoping Zach Crockett would stay for a little bit longer. Same with Ray Buchanan, but it is what it is. Ted Washington, though, is the one that I'm really kind of scared. I don't know if we'll be able to replace that, man. I really don't think in one offseason we'll be able to replace Ted Washington. So, but that is going to do it for the retired players. So let's move through the retirements now and see if we can get to the restricted free agent side of things. Okay, so this year we have some offers. Last year we didn't have any, but this year we have some offers. So looking across our restricted free agents, I don't know if any of these guys. So maybe Turtle Sands now with Ted Washington gone. Turtle Sands and probably Justin Fargas are the only restricted free agents we're probably even interested in giving money to. He only wants 1.83. My client is waiting for your qualifying offer. That's it. Yeah, I will happily give you. Actually, I think I'll probably give a little bit more maybe to. Oh no, that's it. Yeah, that's qualifying offer. Yeah, no problem. No problem. I will happily make that offer to Justin Fargas. I think that's a fair enough amount of money for an 83 overall running back. So, and hopefully he thinks so as well. He's got to accept it, right? So, and hopefully no team tries to poach him, because if he gets poached, that's it's not going to be great. It's not going to be great. But we do get some draft picks if someone poaches him. I don't think at an 83 overall he will get poached. I don't think anyone will offer him any money. But we're going to look through here and see if there's any offers, of course, that we want to give. 1.83, the qualifying offer for Turtle Sands is not great. But I think since, given our situation at defensive tackle now on the team, I think that's definitely something that we're going to have to do, even though that is a terrible amount of money for Turtle Sands. I really do not want to give him that kind of money. Which I think is probably what we could do, right? Yeah, if we don't give him, we probably could have waited. Yeah, you know what? No one ever said I was the smartest. No one ever said I was the smartest. Can I take it back? I can withdraw it. Cool. You may want to reconsider your decision. Yeah. We'll become an unrestricted free agent. Yeah, we'll withdraw, and we'll see if we can get Turtle Sands in free agency. I think we will be able to at 79, or at least I think we'll be able to get him for less money than he's wanting. We might end up in a bidding war with Turtle Sands. I don't know if it'll show us. Oh, he's gone. Yeah, I'm not sure if he is. Oh, can I just make you guys go? No, I can't. I'm not gonna offer you guys money. So okay. So Turtle Sands is already gone. He's going to be a free agent. Hopefully we can get him in free agency. We might end up in a bidding war, and hopefully we don't have to pay more than the qualifying offer, but I don't think we will have to. I'm not sure. All right, worst case scenario, we'll have to find a different, better defensive tackle. I don't think that's terrible. So let's look around the rest of the league here and see if there's anything that is this Cliff Kingsbury? No, it is. It is. It's Cliff Kingsbury. That's funny. Wow, the Panthers again losing some top-ended guys. Yeah, the Panthers again. I don't know why they have such. Good Lord, look at that. Look at this contract. Look at it. Look at it. But for an 86 overall DB, God, we need that so bad. We need that so bad. We don't. Well, we just have to answer back, right? Or what? We'd have to give them something back in return, right? Wait, the Packers are going for Carl Ford? You could easily replace him. I don't understand that. Looking around the rest of the league here, there's not a ton of people that are really jumping off the page to me here. Of course, Brandon Lloyd's going to get a qualifying offer. Jeez, look at that, man. There's a lot. Look at all this. Jeez, everyone's in a bidding war for Brandon Lloyd. They want Brandon Lloyd, man. Denver does. Man, it's always our division. Our division is not getting any weaker. Everyone in our division just seems to keep on fighting. Justin Griffith, fullback, man. Buffalo's in on the fullback here. So round 1 and round 3. So the 20th pick. Yeah, we would have to give up some draft capital here if we wanted to grab somebody, which, again, I'm not looking to do here. We have to start building through the draft at least a little bit, or at least drafting a little bit consistently. So if we don't start doing that, then we'll be in a world of hurt. So I'm going to try and keep our picks this season. I'm not going to try and pick from the restricted free agent list. I think it's a lot of running backs, though. It's a lot of running backs. We already have our situation. Oh, Chris Brown. Oh, my God. I would love Chris Brown on this team. You have no idea how much I would love to have Chris Brown on the team. But at an 84, it's not really like a night and day difference. Dominic Davis. Wow, I'm surprised no one's going in Dominic Davis from Houston. It's interesting. If Houston is able to get him for the qualifying offer, that would be incredible for them. Incredible. Ike Taylor. Now, hold on. Can I look at our roster really quick? Is that possible? Yes, I can. Because if Ike Taylor's a huge increase from where we're currently at DB, that might be a move that we want to make. Is it worth a first and a third? Absolutely not. But that's something else here that to consider as my voice cracks. No, yeah, we absolutely don't need that. We're going to need depth at this position for sure, but we definitely don't need Ike Taylor. So, yeah, we're going to stick to my original plan here and just kind of go through the restricted free agent phase here. Hopefully nobody poaches Justin Fargas from us. I don't think they will, but hopefully we can get through here without being scathed and go right into the next phase of the offseason. All right, so here we are in the dreaded re-signing phase. Thank goodness we get some dibs here at Tim Couch. I'm thinking about whatever he wants. Stop worrying about me. I'm perfectly fine. Yes, we love you, Tim Couch. Tim Couch is going to be our GOAT. He's going to be our GOAT. We're for sure. I can apply a franchise tag? Well, tell me what that is. No. I mean, we know in real life what the franchise tag is, but I don't think I want I think I just want to give him a contract. We'll see what he wants. So, 18.17 over the next 4 seasons. He wants to make, well, that's the signing bonus. So let's look at the yearly breakdown for this contract here. See what it is. So he wants to make 2.2. Okay, so he's going to be making $5 million by that 4th season. I hate that, dude. Why are contracts just automatically backloaded in this game? Is that something you can change? I hate that contracts are just automatically backloaded. That's awful. I don't want to pay him $5 million in year 4. That's not great. But for those first 2 seasons, that would really be nice. So I'm actually kind of okay with that. Let's see how much money I can take off before he's like, no. Okay, we can take a lot off. All right, Tim Couch, he's got some wiggle room. Okay, so looks like, okay, any less than 17.78 and he is out of here. Let's see what that does to the yearly breakdown. So it gets him under 5, and I think that's good. Let's submit that. Signed. Cool. We got our guy for 4 years, guys. Tim Couch for 4 years. Maybe for 4 years might be a little bit long. Maybe 3 is a little bit better. You guys know how much I love the 3-year contract, but no, I think we can do a good bit of winning within that 4 years with Tim Couch, so that's what we're going to look at. That's what we're going to look to do here. So Barrett Robbins is our next free agent here, so we have a lot of cap room, guys. We have like $50 million. His morale is lower than it should be, so he's not like super big on coming back here, but let's see if he will. So, okay, so he does have some good interest to join the Raiders. He would like to be back on the Raiders. So, for the next 3 seasons, that's fine. At a 90 overall, I'm okay with that money. We'll see how much less I can give him. Okay, so not a penny less. He won't take a penny less. That's fine by me. That's a good deal for Barrett Robbins. I think I'm okay with having him on. Jerry Porter. Okay, this one's gonna be tough, guys. This one's gonna be tough. He says, I'm fine, not great, but fine. Wow, whoa, look at that money. Look at that money. Almost $25 million. I mean, he's gonna be the best offensive player on the team, right? $7 million. Oh my God. Are we giving $7 million to Jerry Porter? Are we giving $7 million to Jerry Porter? How much money can I take off? Okay, we can take off some. Okay, we can take off some. Okay, we can take off a lot here. We're trimming. Okay, we found the number. So 2442 is the number, and that gets us under the $7 million threshold. God, in 4 years, in 4 years I think it'd be fine. I think we're still going to have probably the best years of Jerry Porter in year 4 of this contract. I think we will, and if we don't, I think that'll be a movable contract as well. You know what I mean? Like moving, I don't know, for 5.48, that's going to be hard to move. That's going to be hard to move. I'm thinking about messing with the years. I don't know if I want him for 4. If anything, he's going to be like a 5 or 6 year guy, or he's going to be like, like a 2-year guy. So let's move it to 5. Add another year. What is that? $8 million? No, $4 million. I can't imagine where we're going to be in 5 years paying Jerry Porter $8.10 million. I can't imagine it, guys. I can't see the world where that happens. And this year, it's not going to hurt. 3.27 is a lot to pay for Jerry Porter, but I think I'm okay with that. Let's see if we can get it down here. If we can get that 5th year under the $8 million threshold, I think we might be good with this deal, guys. I think I might be okay with it. Let's see here. Let's bring her down. Bring her down here. Bring her down. Oh, we can go under 32. Jerry Porter's got a lot of wiggle room. I'll give it to him, man. A lot of wiggle room. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'll be okay with this. Okay, yeah, so 7 point, yeah, so we're going to be paying him under 4 for the first 2 seasons, which I think is good. I mean, we're just about paying him 4, but yeah, okay, I think I'm okay with this. I'm going to submit this offer here. We'll see. Cool. So we got Jerry Porter. We got our guy. Okay, the rest of these guys I'm going to sign off screen or deal with off screen, and we will come back in and, well, actually, no, they all leave. Yeah, they leave the screen here. Or maybe I can find, nope. No, I cannot. No, I cannot. Okay, let's go through. So Derek Gibson is awful. Also another, not awful, he's not. I'm cool, don't worry about me. I'm not worried about you, buddy. I'm not. Okay, so only 4.23 for 3 years. This, again, this is a good contract. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Derek Gibson, take your money, buddy. Yeah, take your money. It was painless. It absolutely was. Please stay on the team. Okay, looking around the rest of the roster, none of these guys. This is our rookie, I'm pretty sure, that we drafted. I love this team. Sure, then come on back. We need depth at the position. Yeah, 2.70 for 4 years. Yeah, absolutely. Come to the team, buddy. Come be a part. Come be a part. He's just going to be a depth cornerback. We don't really necessarily need him. I think this was... How many of these guys are rookies that I drafted that we're just going to end up leaving, right? Okay, so it looks like a lot of depth guys we are losing. So I'm going to look at the depth chart really quickly here, and we're going to see which one of these guys maybe needs to come back just to fill out the roster spot. Okay, so we're going to offer some money here to Rondell Johnson here. He loves this team. Okay, yeah, cool. You're fine. That money is good. And then we're going to also bring back DeLawrence Grant here because we are thin at the position. I think he might be one of the only few guys that we have. Wow, 5 years, 4.85. Sure, why not? He's young enough, yeah, so I'll go with it. A lot of these deals are pretty good. I'm okay with a lot of these deals. You guys might be like, dude, what are you doing? Just take the money off. Save yourself some money. But over $40 million in cap space, I think we'll be okay. Cut me some slack. We got plenty of money to work with on this team. Yeah, again, another one. See, look at these guys. These guys are all affordable. I like them. Chris Cooper is also another backup piece here that's important on this roster that we need, and so that's going to be it. So take a little quick here, a quick little look at some of the guys we can expect to have to deal with next year contract-wise. So Justin Gage is going to be looking for a deal. We might offer him an extension during the season if he's producing like he was last year. It might be smart to offer him one now, even potentially now being a part of the team. Ron Stone's going to be a big one that we're going to have to look at. Danny Clark is another huge one we're going to have to look at here. Jankowski's on another expiring deal next year, but that's probably about it. That's really, I mean, Langston Walker, of course, here. Justin Fargas is on a 1-year deal now, so we're gonna have to find some money for him as well. Figure something out with him. Of course, we'll look into the franchise tag. Maybe that's something that might become an option for some of these younger guys on the team. But I think that's enough in terms of re-signing players. So we're gonna move on to the next stage of our off season. We're gonna release these guys. We don't need them. I didn't show a ton of rookie scouting last season. I just didn't think it was super important here, but there's a few prospects, well, rather not so much the prospects, but just the strategy here is a little bit different this time around. Last year, I kind of tried to spread things out through, pretty much everywhere that we needed, but this roster really doesn't need a ton of, immediate needs that we could probably fill through the draft outside of our D-line and maybe the safety position, so that's where we kind of looked at things. So the D-line needs a lot of help, so I added some top ends, some really top 3, maybe 4th round prospects onto the list. Same with free safety. And I, of course, added a couple outside linebackers because we're thin at the position. We do have someone there, but we're not super deep at the position. So I added a couple outside linebackers here, but really defensive line and the safety position is really where we're kind of looking for things to at least looking to upgrade maybe through the draft. Everywhere else, I think we're okay for the most part. We don't really need to look to the youth so much to maybe get that production, but maybe in a couple seasons we will. But of course, I talked about importantly building through the draft. Starting with this season, and hopefully we can find what we need on our defensive side of things through these 15 prospects or so that I've added. And I stuck with the 15 that I had. I didn't diversify the list super or a lot because I picked at least 3 positions through an array of draft picks or rounds through projected rounds. So I got a lot of guys in the first and second, got a lot of guys in the third and fourth, got a couple guys in the 5th round. So we should be able to at least get what we need of the 3 positions between this list of 15. At least that's what I think. The rest of the rounds will probably just be fodder maybe if we need something there, or maybe even if I could trade for something. I don't know, but we're going to go through the draft now and we'll cut back in at the end of it. I was really hoping for a little bit more out of the draft class. I'm a little bit upset here. I forgot that we got 2 first-round picks from the Kerry Collins trade. I forgot what we got. When I was talking about Justin Gage earlier, I forgot what we got in that trade, but I forgot that Justin Gage was the accessory to that trade, and completely forgot that we had a first-round pick from Chicago in the process here. So with the 14th and 19th pick in the draft here, we got a free safety and defensive tackle. We drafted for need, not BPA, once again. Drafted for need here, and both didn't really live up to the expectations here. 73 overall and a 71 overall. Jason Andrews is a good backup, maybe. I don't know if we can start with a 73 at free safety. I was kind of hoping we'd at least get a starter out of one of these two guys, but it doesn't look like either probably will. Wendell Miller will probably be, again, second or third in the depth chart. We definitely got to get something better than a 71. The thing I guess that you can probably say is a good thing from our draft is consistency. I mean, look at all these high 60s that we got at all these different positions here. So we filled out the defensive tackle position for sure. Added some depth at the right end position, the linebacking position here. This 5th round pick here that we got, I think he's the 5th, right? Yeah, 2 first, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Yeah, this 5th round free safety that we drafted was a 67, so he's only 6 overall points worse than our first pick in the draft. So that's kind of where we're at. But the big find, I guess, the big steal is Mac Nalen. It was someone that we didn't even scout in our scouting. He was one of the only fullbacks still on the board in the 6th round when I went to go pick him, because I forgot that we don't have a fullback anymore, and he was projected in the 2nd round. No one had just taken him. He was just left on the board, so I grabbed him, and he's a 72 overall. So if we don't find one in free agency, then fine, man, because I think McNailan could potentially at least start there. And then I drafted this quarterback because we needed to draft somebody, but we're probably not going to sign him. He's not even interested in signing with the Raiders, and we have 4 quarterbacks on the roster. There's nothing that we need him for, so we're just going to let him go. He's from Delaware State. He's an FCS quarterback. We do not need him. We absolutely don't need him. So, but this is the draft class here. Not great. It might rival last year's a little bit here. All the draft ratings that it gives draft grades. Everyone gets like an A or better. So I think if you don't get an A plus, you sucked. Or if you got an A minus or a B plus, you really sucked. But if you got an A, it was just average, I guess. Or maybe everyone kind of got the same sort of thing. I don't know. I can't really see everyone else's. Or maybe we can look at draft recap. Will it tell us overalls? No, it doesn't. Well, it gives us ours, but okay. It doesn't say anyone else's. Does it say it's overall? Yeah, no, it doesn't. So I guess maybe we're not allowed to know who else got their stuff here. So but that's going to do it for the draft side of things. And now we get to look ahead to free agency, because there are a few things that we need maybe to consult free agency for. We might need to see if we can get an upgrade at fullback here. We definitely got to fix the defensive tackle position now, and we're still kind of looking here maybe at free safety. We probably still need to find a starting free safety. So hopefully we can find those 3 basic needs. Hopefully we don't need to get in a bidding war. It's so relaxing knowing that we don't have to get in a bidding war with quarterback this year, because last year it was an absolute nightmare trying to bid with quarterbacks in free agency. So there's no guarantee that we won't get in a bidding war this year as well, but I'm hoping that these positions, free safety, defensive tackle, fullback, aren't super high areas of need where everyone's willing to go, $5-10 million on, fullback. We don't probably need. So hopefully in free agency we're able to fix that issue. I think I'm starting to learn the intricacies of free agency in this game. The bad news is a little bit too late. So the free agent period did not go anywhere near as well as we needed it to. So we did get a right end in Robert Mathis. I think we have a 72 overall currently starting there, so 76 is an upgrade. Not a huge one, but it is an upgrade. Rashad Moore is going to be one of our top defensive tackles. He might be the top defensive tackle at a 77 overall. Turtle Sands was on the board. We'll talk about Turtle Sands. Just give me a second here. At a 77, so we at least have a starter caliber to start there, but we'll probably be starting our rookie behind him. It's possible. Morin Norris at fullback at 77. He's cheap, inexpensive. Cap room clearly not an issue. We still have almost $30 million in cap room, and believe me, I tried to get rid of it. Believe me, I did. But we do have a new starting fullback at 77 overall, and then Clinton Hart is going to be our starting free safety. A lot of these deals are long-term as well. Yeah, we have a lot of long-term deals because a lot of these guys are young, so hopefully these guys will get better over time. Hopefully they improve and increase overall-wise, because that's kind of what we're looking at now. That's our best-case scenario for this group of free agents. And then, yeah, here's Turtle Sands here. So I offered him as much money as I possibly could, guys, and he just wanted to go to Minnesota. He would not. I maxed out on the bonus money. He got 2.50. I offered him close to $5 million, and he didn't want it. He wanted to go to Minnesota. So We lost out on Turtle Sands to Minnesota. Kevin Garrett was another free agent I was in on at cornerback just to get some depth at that position here. He would be like the third guy on the roster, and that's a position that we've had injuries at, pretty serious ones, every single season so far. So having some depth at that position would not be an issue, but of course, he wanted to go to the Saints. I kept trying to throw money at him, but he wanted to go to New Orleans. Rodney Bailey is another player I was really in on fighting for, but I could not get him away from Baltimore. He really wanted to go to Baltimore. And then the two biggest ones here, Lamont Thompson, free safety was the big one I wanted at free safety, and I couldn't get him away from San Diego. So we're going to have to be playing him for the next 3 years in San Diego. Unfortunately, it's a huge blow. And then Marcus Stroud, I also really wanted on the team. He was the big marquee free agent, I guess, that we would have went for, and he got that counter offer from from Cincinnati. He got the counter. I'm losing my mind. He got the counter offer from the Bengals, and nothing was going to take him away from it. He just wanted to go to Cincinnati. Nothing was taking him away from that. So I put in a lot of money here, a lot of offers. I offered as much money as I possibly could here to try and get these guys to swing. I think I'm starting to learn free agency here, but it's brutal, man. These free agency battles are absolutely tough. I have no idea how we're going to manage if we have to rebuild a large part of the roster because, man, this is just already brutal. I was so optimistic about our team, looking over our roster heading into the draft, and now since I've only been able to replace it with passable, serviceable starters, I'm feeling less optimistic, but our team should still be okay. So we're going to finalize rosters here. We're finally going to move ahead to the next stage of the offseason now. We're just about done here now, as we need to just go into our depth chart. So let's take a look over them, shall we? So Tim Couch is going to be a starting quarterback in an 86 overall Pro Bowl. Coming off a Pro Bowl season here, Marquez Tuiasosopo behind him, and then Rondell Johnson is back once again. Justin Fargas up to an 83. He's going to be your starting running back with Troy Hambrick behind him, and then Gary Teal, of course, behind them. Morin Norris is going to be starting fullback at 77 overall with a rookie behind him. Jerry Porter is back at a 90 overall, with Justin Gage behind him at 84. Chris Cole's a 79 third, and then Brian Lynch, our first round pick last year, is fourth on the depth chart at receiver, and that's it. That's it for receivers. At tight end, we have Teo Johnson at 90. Doug Jolly, this might be the last year with him. I tried to find an offer for him, a trade for him at the deadline last year, and nobody wanted him. I got 0 offers on him for an 81 overall tight end. So maybe we'll try the beginning of the season because I think the offers do change depending on when you offer or when you put them on the trade block. So maybe we'll put him on the trade block to start the year, see if we can get maybe an extra second or a third for him potentially, and then we'll just get rid of him. And then Roland Williams is going to be behind at third. So we have 3 tight ends for some reason. At left tackle, Robert Gallery is going to start. Barry Sims is going to be a starting left guard. Barrett Robbins is going to be our starting center. Ron Stone down to an 89, but he's going to be our starting guard. We have 2 serviceable guards here. 2 serviceable guards. Still Mo Collins hanging around, guys. He's still hanging around. Langston Walker is going to be a starting right tackle at 84. So our O-line is actually really, really solid. I don't know how much longer we can expect to have that situation, but our O-line is really, really solid right now. Warren Sapp on the left end side. Don't know how long we can expect to have him still. At right end, we have Robert Mathis, who's up to a 76. So, yeah, we really need Robert Mathis on the team because, otherwise it's just a hole, which still kind of is. Rashad Moore is going to be a starting defensive tackle at 77, and then our rookie Wendell Miller is going to be behind him. Danny Clark is going to be the starting left outside linebacker. Middle linebacker is going to start at the left side. Napoleon Harris is going to be a starting middle linebacker. Will Witherspoon is going to be the right outside linebacker. So linebacking course pretty decent here. Phil Buchanan is going to be back finally after getting injured last season. He's at an 88. Jordan Walker also got injured. He's at an 81. Nnamdi Asomugha is going to be third on the depth chart. And then Todd McGrady, I think was our rookie last year we drafted. I brought him back because we need depth there. We need it. Clinton Hart is going to be our starting free safety at a 78. Not terrible here, but obviously we'd like a little bit more here. And then Jason Andrews, our rookie, is going to be behind him. And then Derek Gibson's back to start at strong safety at an 80 overall, with Janikowski kicking, and Shane Leckler is going to punt for us. So again, not a terrible roster. I'm pretty okay with it for the most part. I think I'm really okay with the kick return. We obviously got to go for speed here. What are we doing? Yeah, Phil Buchanan. What are we doing here? Come on, guys. Get with the program. Anyway, so now we get to move into the next phase of our season. We get to start the brand new season, year number 3. Can you believe we're already in year number 3? And I will spiel about what I believe is possible with the roster once we get in fully into the festivities. So we're going to get into that here. We have to get through training camp, of course, first. And training camp might actually be pretty important this year because I think there's a few guys who actually probably need some time there. It's only giving us the top dudes here, but yeah, actually there's not a lot of guys that we can really upgrade. I mean, there's some upgrade points here. Maybe, yeah, swap ball we could probably upgrade. Yeah, I don't know. Would you upgrade, Clinton Hart now because he's the starter, or do you want to develop the rookie, right? Like who? Because I think these are long-term deals. So Clinton Hart's probably going to be here for at least 3 years. So that might be smart to upgrade him. But we'll get through training camp and then we'll move on into the preseason. If by chance there is a God that you pray to, please pray to him and keep me in those prayers. Will Witherspoon has broken his fibula in the preseason and is out for the entirety of the season. I can't think of a worse injury maybe to have. Maybe Tim Couch, which knock on wood, because good God, losing Will Witherspoon, I don't know what is up with these season injuries. I mean, it is realistic, that does happen, but maybe not so much in preseason, because Will Witherspoon should have only been playing a few snaps, but the only snap that he played was on his fibula, which is now completely snapped, and he's out for the year. And then on top of that, Langston Walker, our starting right tackle, or only right tackle on the roster, broke his ankle and is out for 6 weeks. So at least we will get Langston Walker back at some point, but I think I would rather just drown my sorrows in a adult beverage because this is brutal, absolutely brutal. So 2 massive holes now in the roster, which for sure will have to be filled before week 1. That might even be a trade situation because I don't know what the hell we're going to do to replace that production, guys. I really have no idea. So either way here, we're going to look ahead at the roster, look ahead at the schedule for year number 3 following the preseason. I didn't show progression this year because nobody progressed. No one really grew except for Marquise Tuiasosopo. He got up to an 80, so I guess we do have a backup quarterback option now. That's neat. But anyway, looking at the schedule here, so we start on the road in Jacksonville, which we will for sure watch this game. And then we are home for our first game against the Broncos. Then we head all the way to St. Louis to play the Rams in the Dome. Maybe the Rams are better this year. Who knows? They only won a single game last year, so got to win that game. I would think so. And then we play the Niners at home, so a little Bay Area action. Then we have our bye week in week 5, a little bit early. It sucks. We do play the Bengals, who should be pretty good this year. It's Sunday Night Football. We have the Seahawks at home as well. Then we go to the road to play the Chargers in San Diego. We're back home to play the Dolphins and the Chiefs before heading out to Arizona to play the Cardinals, and then we head up to Denver to play the Broncos for the second time, and then we head all the way out to Baltimore to play the Ravens, and then we head all the way to Cleveland to play the Browns. This road trip is absolute insanity. We're finally home with the Chargers in week 15, then we go to Arrowhead in week 16, and finish off with Pittsburgh for the 3rd straight year we were playing the Steelers. So here's how the schedule breaks down. I'm not sure which games we're going to focus on here. I already see a couple games that I would like to watch and showcase for you guys here, but it's tough, man. It's tough. So the Jaguars have been in the playoff hunt for the last couple seasons here. The Broncos have been as well. The Rams have been bad. The Niners have been bad as well. The Bengals had a down year last year, but they were also right in the hunt with us as well. The Seahawks were in the playoffs. The Chargers have been in the playoffs the last 2 years. The Dolphins were bad last year. I mean, you get the point. There's not a lot of bad teams on the roster. Take a look at the number breakdown. Our team is better than last year, so we are improving, if even a little bit, but still got a little bit ways to go. Our defense is obviously the weakest link once again. So what can we say about expectations for this year as our video now exceeds last year's offseason video, although I do think this one is better and a little bit more focused. But either way, what is the expectations heading into next year here? Obviously, I mean, playoffs are bust really, but it's not so much bust. It's just some things will change. Maybe coaching change might need to happen, but personnel-wise, I can't think of any players that would need to go. We made a lot of long-term decisions with a lot of guys on the roster, so I think it's just a matter of improving it little by little each season until we really get it to where we need it to be. But this year, I think we do have a roster that can at least make it. I think we can at least fight for a wild card in the AFC, which is where we've been the last couple of years, but this year, even with the losses that we have on the defensive side of the ball, I still think we should be all right. So that's what I'm going to say. I think a 9-7, 10-6 again should be the expectation, and we should be shooting for that. When will we get over a hump? I'm not really sure, but I'm just trying to at least get to the playoffs and know that I can in this game first before we start talking about, okay, how do we get to the Super Bowl? Like, let's start with playoffs. Let's get into the playoffs first. But first things first, we have to go to Jacksonville and play the Jaguars. So I hope to see you guys in that next video, much shorter video, when we play the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville.